Hi, welcome to Simply Narelle Stitches. It's time for my next floss tube, and this time I actually took note of the number. It's number 38. I never ever think to do that, but I am this time. It is Monday the 4th of August. It's actually my birthday today. Happy birthday to me. I've just come home from a lovely lunch with the family. We had fish and chips by the water and it was very, very nice. Anyway, so I'm here to talk about my cross stitching, what I have done in the last 2 weeks. I have nine whips to share, and then another round of Monopoly, and then my plans. So I don't think it's going to be a very long video, but we'll see. All right, so update on my cataract. I think I said in the last video at the end that I had just been diagnosed with a cataract in my right eye. It has got worse since I was diagnosed. I went to see the eye specialist on Wednesday, and I'm waiting on a surgery date because he's only fairly new to this side of Brisbane, I believe, and he hasn't organised his surgical dates with the hospital, private hospital across the road. So I'm waiting for a call from them to get it done, because it's starting to actually impact my stitching. I know, heaven forbid. No, but seriously, it's actually impacting my work. So I'm finding it increasingly harder to sew bags and create the floss drops and things like that I have in my shop, because it's getting harder to see. So there may come a stage in the next few weeks or so, if I don't get it done soon, that I may have to stop stitching and close my shop temporarily, which I don't want to do. But if I can't see and I can't sew or stitch. Anyway, so let's get on to the whips. Now, I do have notes. If I keep looking down, I'm looking at my notes. The first one I have to share is the Up on the Rooftop Sal by the Fat Quarter Shop. And I did weeks... Now, I think I did weeks 2 and 3 because I believe, yes, because it's been 2 weeks. So releases 3 and 4, no, releases 2 and 3 have come out. Apologies for the lighting. I was planning to use my ring light. I got new glasses that I picked up this morning, and I asked for the anti-glare on them, and I thought that would help with the ring light. But I put the ring light on, and you can still see the reflection, but it's green, so it's not what I thought it was going to be. But anyway, so I've got my normal desk. Oh gosh, I just looked at that and it's so bright. I've got my normal desk lights on, which are daylight globes. Oh, I have to stop looking at it, my goodness. And so the light is a little bit different, so it's as good as it's going to be until I rearrange the office and possibly can open the curtains and have natural daylight. I just can't do it with the setup I've got at the moment. So anyway, it is what it is. Here we go. We have, maybe it's better this way because that light, I don't know which is the brightest light. There we go. So that is releases 1, 2, and 3. Release 1 was the Ho Ho Ho. Release 2 was the little holly leaves and berries. And I think them, I missed them, I think, when I did release 2, you know, because I couldn't see that great. And on the chart, the symbol is really, really light grey. So I missed them. I think that was part of release 2. And then release 3 was this really, really cute reindeer and the little quilt type square there. So, so cute. Now the pattern calls for Classic Colourworks, but I just use DMC. So they give a DMC conversion as well. And I'm just using DMC. And it's on a piece of grey 18 count Aida. It's actually white that I dyed myself for this project. So that's where we are so far. I'll have the details linked below for the sale so that you can still sign up and get it. It's actually really, really cute. Next week's one is really cute. So I'll be glad for that when it comes around. Okay, so that one I worked on 3 times and put in a total of 994 stitches. So even though they're only small, they're very stitch dense. Next we have Coffee Break by Shannon Christine Designs. And that's what it's going to look like when it is finished. Just a really little one. It is 58 by 54, so it's not all that big. And if I remember, I'll put a this is where it was photo up. And this is where it is now. So I think last time I had done just the mug and the froth on top. This time I started the words, did a bit of the blue at the bottom of it and the border. So this one I did for Monopoly because this came out as a Monopoly call, and I worked on it one time and did 573 stitches, and this is on a piece of 18 count cream Aida that I just found in my stash. Yeah, so a nice quick stitch. So ones like this will be really good for my 60 completed projects before 60. And now, since today's my birthday, I have officially 1 year to do my 60 by 60. And I think I've done, oh wait, I've got the list somewhere. I think I've done 21, maybe. I was trying to work it out last night. I should have written it down. I think I've got 39 projects to finish before this time next year. And that, you know, works out 3 a month or something. And with small ones like this, I should get it done. But, you know, some of them are quite big that I've got. Okay, so next we have Anne Morrison. And this was for Monopoly. And that is what it's going to look like when it is done. Now this was a traditional, no, this was an exclusive to Traditional Stitches, I believe, in 2020. So Traditional Stitches is a Canadian LNS, and they had this as an exclusive, and I really, really liked it. And it's actually my first Hands Across the Sea chart ever. And so I bought it from Canada, and yeah, I love it. And I'm still going. It was a stitch along with them, but you know, I do more start alongs than stitch alongs, like I'm sure a lot of us do. So I'll put in a picture of where it was, and then I got to go back for this one because it's big. I'm doing this on 25 count even weave 2/2. Yeah, my first hats. I had no idea what I should have been stitching on it. I had no idea that back then about fancy flosses or different count fabrics, and I just had a bolt of the 25 count, so that's what I used. So that is where it is now. So I worked on this section here, so bear in mind I worked on that section, so when I hold it out again you can see. So this one I'm hoping to get done as one of my 60 by 60. We'll see, but so pretty. It is big, but you know, it's really pretty. I'll hold it up closer on what I did. Now I've got to try and remember because this was back in July I worked on this. So I can't really remember. Pretty sure I finished the C. Pretty sure I finished this, did the D, carried that across because this basically like finished, I think it was like down here, but up here. So I did, I think the blue there, pale blue, this red, this green and red, and then these. So I worked on it one time for 598 stitches. So that's really pretty. My first ever Hands Across the Sea. I don't even know if I have any more going. I did the, I want to say James and the Giant Pear, but it's the Rose and the Giant Peach or whatever it is. No, it's, yeah, something like that. Anyway, I finished that one, and I don't have another hats on the go. I do have a few. I got the Uffendell Sisters. Sorry. and a few others, but I haven't started them yet. So, you know, I got a big stash, so you can't have everything started, can you? So that was Anne Morrison. Okay, next we have Mason Jar Lineup. Did I say Anne Morrison was for Monopoly? If I didn't, it was. Ah, dear. Okay, next we have Mason Jar Lineup by Dimensions. And that's what it's going to look like when it is done. And this is really pretty. It is actually so much prettier stitched than the picture depicts. It seriously, it really is. I think they should have made this front cover landscape and have it this way bigger, because it is so much prettier than what that looks like. It's actually really delicate and really stunning. So this one was for Monopoly, and I did 261 stitches on it, and I just worked on it the one night. And this is on kit fabric, so I believe it's a 14 count, 16 count, 14 count white Aida. This is where it was, and now this is where it is now. So really pretty. And I don't know how well you can see it because I can't see that great because of my cataract. So I'm hoping that it's looking okay. So yes, very pretty. So I finished off some of these purple flowers. I had done the stem previously because this came out the previous fortnight, and then worked up here and did a lot of this. Yeah. So it's looking much more delicate than in the picture. Even with a bung eye, I think it looks good. Okay, so that was, I believe, all my Monopoly stitching done. So we'll get on to a new round of Monopoly later. Okay, so then it was time for the Strident Sale in Whip Warriors, which is a monthly event that is designed for you to work on the sales that you've fallen behind on, which we all have them. And it goes over a weekend, so, or like 3-day weekend type of thing, from Friday to Sunday, I believe. So for that one, I worked on I'll Be Home Cottages by Twin Peak Primitives. This was a sale originally hosted by Pam at Just Keep Stitching, and I think it was a 2020 start, and I bought it when the sale was like halfway through. I had no intention of catching up with the sale or keeping up with the sale. I just really liked it all in one. So I'm still working on it, obviously, plugging along. So I'll probably do this for this month's Strident Sale event as well, because I just want to get it done. And this is absolutely massive, bed sheet size. Right, so with this one, I had finished June, I believe, last video. So I will put up a picture of where it was, or what my last finishing section was. And for now, I started July. So July, so I worked on it for 3 days, and I put 1,306 stitches in. And this is being done on a piece of, I think it's 18 count Rustico. So a lot of the light colours don't show. So these flowers are just meant to be white, but I had to back stitch around them because you just could not see them on this fabric. So I back stitched around them, and I think they just pop really pretty now. And I started the roof and came down here, did a bit of this. Now in the pots there's meant to be the American flag. I'm not going to put the American flag in. It does have bunting on the house, which is red, white and blue, so that's as much American as it's going to be. But I might, because it's July, obviously I understand, 4th of July. Oh, that's hurting, I need to change arms. I'm thinking of changing the bunting to red, white, and green, like using the green from the stem, so it's not so obviously American. So yeah, I mean, I watched a video, I can't remember who it was, sorry. She was saying that she often wonders, she's American or Canadian, she often wonders, I think she's American, she often wonders what people think of when they see a series and July has always got the American flag in it. So I commented and said, it is frustrating for us who don't live in America, but I can understand why designers do it, because America's the largest market. So you're going to, oh hang on, I'll show you the whole thing. So you're going to market to the largest market, your biggest customer base. So I can understand why they do it. So I've now sort of got to the stage where it's like, well, I will still buy the patterns. I will modify them though, if I can. So it's not so Americanized. Nothing against America. I love America. I'd love to go there one day. And, you know, it's number 2 on my bucket list after the UK. And I know I got some really lovely American friends. So I'm not dissing America at all. It's just frustrating when designers then don't do something for other countries, or they don't include in their designs flags of other countries, like the more populated countries. So I made a comment and said that I might design a couple of series that July is not American, like it's not obviously American, and December, January don't have snow, because we get, I don't say we never get snow, we've just had a few days of snow, not where I am, but 100 or so k's away they've had snow just this past weekend. So we do get snow, it's just not a common event. But it would be in July, August times, not January, December. But anyway, so here we go. That's the whole thing as it stands. And this is huge, absolutely huge. So if I had have known it was going to be like so big, I probably wouldn't have done them all at once. But when I started it, I was new back into cross stitching. The only cross stitching I'd ever done before giving it a break like most of us did and have come back to it, was kits. So you didn't have to think about fabric choices and sizes and floss and stuff. You just used whatever they gave you. So I didn't realise when I did that it was going to be so big. But anyway, but I'm going to make it into a quilt, I think. It'll be nice. Alright, and then the last, that's not the last whip I have. No, okay. And then I didn't know what to work on. There was no challenges in the group. I'd done my Monopoly stitching, so I'd like finished categories already for July. And I thought, well, what am I going to do now? So I had a look at my Whip Go boards and chose a project that is from, I think, still outstanding from February. Yeah. And it is Roses of Provence by Mirabilia. Now this originally, when I was going to do Tour de France in, it was just a challenge that someone had set, another floss tuber, and she said, you know, choose a project and that will be your daily stitch for the Tour de France. Well, I decided I wasn't going to do that because I don't like having multiple projects in a day. So what I normally do is after dinner I'll start stitching and I just stitch on the one project for that night. So if I have to do, you know, like 165 stitches on this and then go to something else, I'm reluctant to do it. So I don't like doing that sort of thing. That's why I don't do like temperature stitching anymore, or one strand a day or daily 30, anything like that, because I don't like changing projects normally, and I'll just get the one project out and work on it. So I decided that, well, since it's an old Whip Go call that I haven't done yet, and I had originally said that I was going to work on this for the Tour de France, then I thought, well, I'll pull this out and get some stitching on this. All right, so this is being done on, I believe it's a 14 count Aida. This is my first Mirabilia that I started, and again, I had no concept of different sizes of fabrics. So anyway, all right, so I'll show you what I worked on. I'll try and show you the whole thing. I don't think I can. All right, I'll show you the top section. All right, I'll show you where it was first if I haven't already put the picture up. I'm very organised, am I? Okay, so I was... It's very glary, isn't it? Oh my gosh. If I come back. I was previously working, you know, the skirt, and this is like the middle somewhere, and then I worked down from there. Well, because I've been doing a few full coverages lately, I wanted to... I've got in my head now for my projects, I want to go up and start from the top left. So I worked my way, I think I was like here, here. So I finished that bit off there and did this section and then worked up, and that is her arm. That is her neck. Let me bring it in closer so you can see. This lighting is atrocious. Oh my gosh. Oh my lordy. Okay, so that's her her neck. Oh my gosh, my eyes are shocking, I can't see. That's her face. You can see the nose, the chin. There's her neck. And that's her hair, start of her hair. So, wait, let me see if I can pop this up rather than facing down. If the light's a bit better. Oh, blind myself on the way. Oh, that might be a bit better. Is that a bit better? That's not as glary. Oh, I really need to get this lighting situation sorted, don't I? Ah! Is that a bit better? I don't know. I can't tell. My eyes are... Okay, so there we go. So I've worked up to the top. And then we come down to the top of her dress. That's her arm, I believe. Shoulder arm. That's her arm. Oh, where is it? Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. But anyway, my eyes are really bad. My right eye is really bad. Okay, so there we go. And that's what I've got so far. So I've actually done a lot of her dress. But there's still a lot more to go. It's massive. But there we go. Can you see her better there? Yeah, sorry about the lighting. Is what it is. Alright, so that was Roses of Provence. So I worked on her for 2 days and I got 1,068 stitches in. And that was the end of July. And then we started August. So if you remember my last video, August is my birthday month, obviously, and I'm doing a start all the things in August. Start as many things as I want in August. Okay, so also in Whip Warriors, they started a new event called Arbitrary August, and the idea is to do something different every day. So they asked us in the event to do like 1 to 31 on the event, and then each day set a different goal, and then they'll spin a wheel, and whatever number it comes up with is the project that you're doing. So I thought, well, I want to start all the things. So my Arbitrary August is all new starts. So every day is a new start, and I specified which start for each number, and the goal is 200 stitches each, because they don't classify a whip as a whip until it gets to 200 stitches. So my goal is 200 stitches each. So on the 1st of August, I can't remember what number they called. I think it was 27. And that is Soar into Summer by Jeanette Douglas. And hopefully this is not too glary in the plastic. So that is what it looks like. Cute little pillow. So I started that. I did it for the one night. And I did 580 stitches on it, and I'm doing it on a piece of 28 count even weave from, it's got no colour name, but it was in the, what were they called? They were Sassy Devils pouches run out of Tasmania. They don't do them anymore, but it was Cottage Garden was the theme of that pouch. And it's a beautiful hand-dyed fabric in pinks and greens and purples. So there's the back of the fabric, very pretty. And then, so I can get quite a few out of this one piece of fabric. Okay, so this is what I got done. So that is not quite, I think it goes down a little bit further than that, so that's not quite the whole thing. So it's only small. Yeah, let me have a look. Can you see that? Oh, I don't have it here, but it's only small. It's like 60 something by 60 something. So there we go. What have I done? I fold it so now you can't see as much of it. You think this is the first time I've done one of these? Oh, my Lord. All right, anyway, I still can't see it all. Earl, get your act together. Oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. There we go. Yes, so very, very pretty. And I'm using DMC. It is charted for something else. Oh, look. I can't give you half the information. So it was from Jeanette Douglas. I think I might have. All right. It is charted using Classic Colourworks and Weeks Dye Works. So I have used DMC. And I'm not sure if I've changed any of the colours. The next one I think I have, but I don't think I've changed any of the colours. So it's 76 by 81. And that's the colour chart. So you can see all my little writing on it. I did a search on conversions. I've written this on here yonks ago when I was going to start it last year, and I never did. So then I went and thought, well, hang on. I don't think that's not enough colours. I couldn't work out what I'd done. So then I had a look, Google searched again for DMC conversions and came up with them. When it was multiples, I just picked the first one, or what I had in stash, really. So anyway, it is what it is. I think it's turning out quite pretty. And did I say how many I got done on that one? So one night I worked on it and I got 580 stitches. And it looks like where it is falling on the fabric, it's going to be mostly a pink background, which I don't mind. Yeah. So quite a quick stitch. Really enjoying that. So that was the first arbitrary August, start all the things. And then the next one that came up, I think it was 26, it's like the number next door, is Basket of Cherries by Blackbird Designs. And that is what it looks like. Right, now with this one, yeah, I had some issues. So I'm doing this just on a piece of 14 count cream Ada that I think I got off a D-Stash site. Originally sold at Spotlight for $4.25. But it fits on nicely. It's actually too big for the piece. But anyway, this is, ignore my hanging thread. I just couldn't stitch anymore that night. That is what I've got done. And that is 445 stitches. All right, so for this one, again, it calls for, I believe it is, let me see, calls for Gentle Arts. And they have a DMC conversion next to it. Okay, so here, there's the symbols there and the Gentle Arts, and then the DMC number next to it. No. The, what was it, for the bird? All right, the bird's tummy. Let me show you here. All right. The bird's tummy is beige or really light pink one of the colours, or the colour it had said for DMC was 3804, which is a really vibrant, bright pink. I'm going, that looks nothing like 3804. Then the bird, obviously, is blue. The DMC colour they had in their conversion to use was brown. And oh my Lord, that's nothing like the picture. So I had to go through and just use the picture as reference and pick suitable DMC colours. So my bird now, they said, was going to be 646, which is a brownie colour. I've changed it to 932 with the border being 930 because they had 3787. So totally wrong colours. I don't know. Have DMC changed the colours numbers that drastically, like from blue to brown? I don't think so. So I couldn't quite understand what was wrong with that. So I just went and picked my own colours. That's where I got so far. And I just couldn't finish the fill-in for the bird. So yeah, that's what I did for that one. So that's Basket of Cherries, and this one and the Soar into Summer are going to be great to have on my whip list for my 60 by 60 because I have got a really good chance of getting done in that time. And then one last whip, and I don't have enough project bags for my new whips, so they're in plastic bags. I need to rectify that because the plastic bags drive me batty. Okay, next we have the last whip, which was yesterday's call, and it was number 4, I believe, and it's Cardinal Joy Banner by Dimensions, and that is what it's going to look like. And it's only really little. It comes with the little bells to jingle dangle down there. And the kit fabric, I believe it's 14 count Aida, but it's so cream Aida and it is so stiff. I actually find it hard to stitch on because it's hard to get your needle through the holes. It's just, I don't like it. I'm sorry, but it came in the kit, so I'm going to use it. And that is how much I got done last night. I started in the middle and then worked across and started on the border up to as far as I could because the Q-snap was there, and then came down and did this, and that is 318 stitches. And I meant, oh sorry, my lunch is repeating on me. I meant to say the Basket of Cherries was also for categories in Whip Warriors because the letters for August are B and L, so I used B basket for man-made. And this one I have used also in categories for near or in water because birds bathe in water. So hopefully I got away with that in the bathe in water. So they are all my whips. This again will be a great 60 by 60 finish. I'm going to need lots of small ones so that I reach my target. They are all my whips. Now, I did do another round of Monopoly, but I did not film it because I did all my Monopoly stitching. So, for Monopoly, the barbecue landed on chance, and the chance card was collect $150 for selling some tickets. And then I realized, okay, so what am I going to do for the chance and community chest when it's not like go to a certain property or go back, you know, so many spaces, whatever. So I realized then I needed to have a property for each of community chest and chance. And so, oh, I didn't think to bring that with me. So on community chest, I chose Angel Kisses as my project, and then Crinoline Lady as a project for chance. So if it's, you know, go to the nearest railroad and pay the owner twice the rent, whatever, then that's okay. I can use the rent and double it. But if it's like this one, you got $150 for selling tickets, I could go, well, okay, I can sell 150, I can do 150 stitches is what I thought. And then I thought, on what? And then I could do a whip of my choice. That was fine. I had set that rule. So it was 150 stitches on a whip of my choice when I landed on the first chance. But then I got another one later on that was like 10 stitches. And I thought, it was like $10 they get for something. I thought, well, 10 stitches is hardly anything. So do I times it by 100? So do I times all of them by 100? Or what do I do? So I then decided that what I need to do is choose a project for each community chest and chance, and then depending on what the card is, I either do the stitches of the property it tells me to go to, or I do the amount of stitches for the money you earn or the money you have to give on the card. And then I thought, still, what do I do with the 10 stitches? I'm not going to do just 10 stitches. It's not worth my time pulling the whole thing out, getting it on the Q-snap, blah, blah, blah. Then I thought, well, okay, if the dollar value for the earning money, paying whatever, is less than 100, then I'll times it by 10 so that it is more than 100. So that makes it a bit more worthwhile getting it out to do 100 or so stitches. So that meant that my chance barbecue, landing on chance, was, I still got it wrong there, was, I need a pen. I've got 1,500 written here. And that's when I, no, that's too much. All right, so landing on chance and selling tickets for $150 means I do 150 stitches on Crinoline Lady because that's my project for chance. Okay, then the hat landed on Phillip Island, which someone already owns. So I have to do 140 stitches on Anne Morrison for that. The car landed on another chance. What are the chances? And they had to advance to the closest airport, which wasn't owned, so they bought it. So I've now got to do 200 stitches on Follow the Leader. The Kookaburra landed on Community Chest. It was a night for these ones, I tell you. And they won second prize in a beauty contest and won $10. And this is where I went, I'm not going to do just 10 stitches. So I times that by 10. So now I've got to do 100 stitches on Angel Kisses because that's a project for Community Chest. The dog landed on Esperance, so they bought it. So that means 160 stitches on Turkish Delight. And then the kangaroo landed on Questacon and bought it. So that's 240 stitches on Vintage Shoes. So hopefully while I was going through that, I remembered to put the pictures up of each project so that you know what it is I need to stitch on. So that's all my stitching and Monopoly out of the way. And the last thing is plans. Not a lot to go. All right, so what I'm going to continue working on is Arbitrary August, starting all the things as much as I can. My caveat for that is because my cataract's getting worse and I don't know when I'm having the surgery, I have quite a few full coverages listed to start as part of my start all the things in August. I may not be able to start them because that may be just too hard to see. So on the bigger count fabrics, like the 14 count that's been in some of these kits, I'm okay to stitch on seeing wise. It's still a struggle and it takes me a lot longer, but I can still see enough to stitch. I'm thinking a 25 count 1/1 is not any chance in hell I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know. I won't know until I attempt one. So when the first one of them gets called, I'll know. And if that's the case, I'll see if I have anything else to substitute them with. If not, I'll just have to skip those days and work on something else that I can see. So we'll see what we can do. Now, oh yeah, and then I'm also going to be doing the Monopoly stitching. But I've also saw overnight that Carolyn Zook from the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitching Challenge Facebook group put out the prompts or the game for ABC Ingo that they run in September. So So I started planning for that already, because why not? I love planning. So they're running ABC Ingo differently this year, in that instead of having 25 squares and having a prompt per day, they're having 35 squares, which means you can't get a blackout anymore, because there's only 30 days in September. You can get your normal bingos across and up and down. There'll be no diagonals though. Diagonals, does diagonal work? Diagonal doesn't work because there's 35 squares. So you can only get up and down and across for your bingos, and there'll be no blackout. So that's different. And what they're doing, normally because there was 25 squares, they miss one letter of the alphabet out, and you fit something in to fit that letter, and then you put them on your board and wait for them to be called. This time they're doing it still the letters of the alphabet, but because they needed 35 squares, they've got all the letters of the alphabet, and then they've got numbers 1 to 9. So for all the letters of the alphabet, you still work it like an acrostic. So you find something to fit each letter. Then once they go through all the letters of the alphabet, they have numbers 1 to 9. Now 1 to 9 is a little bit different. When that's called, when 1 through to 9 are called, that's how many motifs you need to do on a piece. So think like a Quaker with all different motifs, or a sampler with different like letters of the alphabet, or small little florals, or something like a Carolyn Manning piece. I'm thinking of the you know, the ones with all the different colours are in pretty your triangles and stuff. I don't know, what is it, geometric type ones. Like each one of those would be classed as a motif. So that is something really different that they're doing, and I think it's really fun. So you've got A to Z and 1 to 9. So A to Z, I tried to pick the projects that are on my 60 to finish by 60, and I've got a lot of them on here, and I tried to fit as many prompts to only like a handful of them. So I've got like it's listed about 6 times, Redoubt Rose Alphabet heaps of times. What else have I got on here? Anne Morrison a few times. Like I tried to get all those ones in to get a bit of work on them. And then my 1 to 9, I thought I don't really have anything that has small motifs on it. So I decided to alternate between Alice in Wonderland and the Bothy Nutcracker, because they have all the little like leaves and lots of different things on them. So they are my 1 to 9, and I can't wait to start that in September. And the other thing I'm doing in September, which I still want to do, but I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fit it in, is it's a sale, and I can't remember. I'll have the details closer to September, but it's, I can't remember who's putting it on. I've got it written over there. What's it called? I can't read it. Wait a minute. Fall for Fox's Cell. And like I said, when I get closer to September, I'll have all the details. But basically, stitch fox projects throughout September. So I've got my full coverage, or not quite. It's not all full coverages, actually. It's got a blank, no background on it. But the fox one with the flowers I've got in my Etsy shop, I wanted to stitch that. I wanted to start that. So I thought, well, I want to do that for that sale. So fingers crossed I can get a few days in on that. We'll see what happens. And I do think with the ABC Ingo, they're only going to still call 25 calls, and you still have the last 5 days to catch up. So I'm hoping that maybe the first couple of calls I'll let go and not stitch on them straight away, so that I can start getting some work on my fox, and then stitch on the catch up on the bingo ones as I go. All right, anyway, so they are my plans, and that is all I have to say. It's not that long a video today, so that's good. yeah, I got nothing else to talk about. So thank you for watching. I know there's lots of floss tubes out there. If you've dropped by and hung around this long, I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. If you've liked this video, please give me a like and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And I will see you on the next video. And until then, happy stitching. Bye bye.